Khan here for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, with the one and only Dean Whyte in Bournemouth. Dean, we just seen you interacting with Sugar Hill there. What was that?
Yeah, no, Sugar's alright, man. I met him in Madison Square Gardens the other day, and we had a good talk, you know. And he's a sound guy, very respectful. We caught up after the defeat to Tyson Fury, and we spoke and we done an interview, and then now he wants to come to the hood in Brixton. So, you know, we're more than accommodating and welcoming, man. Let him do his things. Maybe I can catch him tonight and do some pads with him or something.
Where are you going to take him in Brixton?
I don't know, just maybe a couple of the gyms. Maybe we'll take him Knees and IQ gym, and then just take him to Miguel's in Brixton. But, you know, take him around the local market and see what's going on.
Then let's get to the card. Dillian Smith, Chamberlain, your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, really, really good fight. Solid fight. 50-50 fight. Close fight to cool. I understand maybe some people could lead to Crispin and Smith. He's the home favourite. He's been more active. He's fought the better opponents. But Isaac is smooth operator. You saw the skill. You saw how he was moving. He looks sharp. He looks like he's ready. It's just about him and his mindset and how he goes into there and delivers and performs and not over commits or rushes his job in the ring. So, you know, hopefully, you know, he does his thing, man, and I'll be rooting for him and I wish him all the best, you know what I mean?
A lot of talk about Ben Whittaker, a lot of further in anticipation about him as a fighter because of the successes he's had in the past. But your thoughts on Ben is someone who's destined, it seems, to go very far in the sport.
Yeah, obviously, the pedigree as an amateur is, you know, unquestioned. Him coming into the pro, there's a lot of hype. They've clearly done a lot of promo with him, you know, coming into the pro. We'll see if it translates. He's got Sugar Hill, so I believe he's taking it serious. He's decided to let me try and take on one of the best trainers that are out there. And I think he's got a great career. He's a nice, likeable kid, very polite, very manageable, comes from a good family. I know his dad really well. And I wish him all the best. I hope he delivers and does his thing and goes far, because I'll be there watching the journey along the way.
What do you make of the link-up with Sugar? Very intriguing link-up.
I think it's intriguing. Obviously, he wants to become a puncher and sit down on his punches a little bit more. So, you know what I mean? Let's see. So, yeah, it's a good link-up. It's a good connection.
A heavyweight as well, having his second fight. Fraser Clark also in the mix now. Good to see Fraser getting his career on track now in the pros.
Yeah, Fraser's doing his thing. Let's see, who's Fraser fighting tomorrow? Oh yeah, my man from Argentina, my little brethren, or wherever he's in Nicaragua or whatever. Yeah, that guy's tough as well. That's a great fight, you know. I want to see how, if you know, he had a great fight with David Allen, that guy. He had a good fight the other day with Jared Miller. So it's interesting to see how Fraser does with him, if he can stop him. But that guy, listen, that guy's coming to get busy. So that's a good fight. So yeah, it's intriguing. You know, hopefully he does good. He's, you know, was he Olympian? Hopefully he does good stuff, and let's see how far his career goes, you know.
Let me go thoughts on a couple of things. First of all, Dillian, I've seen some training footage of him. He's back in the gym, getting training, getting done. Where is Dillian right now?
Dillian lives in Portugal, so that's where Dillian is. Dillian's working, Dillian's planning. He's thinking of, he's laying on the opportunities on where his, you know, next fight is going to be. I'm sure he's looking at the best money that's on the table and the best fight that's going to get him into title contention. So, I mean, you know, I'm sure we'll hear some stuff from Dillian and his team shortly.
Yeah, Eddie alluded to there being offers on the table from DAZN, Sky, BT Sports. Yeah, what do you make of those three offers?
Yeah, obviously Dillian's a top fighter. He's a main pay-per-view attraction. So it's not surprising that everyone wants to have Dillian Whyte, you know, under their roof and get these big fights. Because win, lose or draw, Dillian Whyte comes to bring it. You know what I mean? But Dillian's going to look at what's Dillian's just going to look at who is, you know, going to pay him the most. At this time in his career, it's going to be, his career's winding up, so he's probably going to win the most bang for his buck. So, and what's going to get him the quickest route back to being in for a title contention. So, you know, we've got to look at who's on the table and what's there. So, yeah.
No shortage of good fights out there for Dillian Whyte. We've just recently seen Chisora gain revenge over Pulev recently, but there are other fights out there potentially for Dillian, like a Wilder. Who would you like to see Dillian in with next?
I think, to be honest, I'm not really sure. I think the best opportunity that gets him where he is, I think the fight with Dubois is good, because Dubois is the regular WBA champion. I think that's a fight that bodes well. He's a dangerous guy. Obviously a big puncher, got good jab, but you know, I think Dillian beats him quite convincingly. As we saw Joe Joyce did. Joe Joyce is another one they're talking about. Joe Joyce is a hell of a campaigner. one of the best chins in the heavyweight boxing. Dangerous fight for Dillian and a good fight for Dillian at the same time, because I've seen that he's been hurt to the body against Brian Jennings. He's quite open to and gets caught with a lot of shots, but yet again he reminds me of Dillian Smith, where he's got that engine that they can continue to punch and fight. That's probably a little bit up. But if you're looking at the best fight, I'd say Dubois, because he becomes regular world champion and he puts you straight back into title contention. Or whoever, if maybe Ortiz is a good fight, if you just want to see a good fight, but will do numbers and people might want to see. But other than that, like it's got to make sense financially. So I don't know. It's down to him and his team, you know.
Sky have recently just announced, been waiting for a long time, the Usyk-AJ2 fight will land on their platform. A lot of talk about that fight as well, and also the price increase for the fight too, for the fans who'll have to pay that price increase. Your thoughts on that one as well, Dean?
I think, look, right now we're in a time in life where there's a lot of inflation, so things have gone up. So I guess they've had to increase, and they've spent a lot of money on a lot of signings. They're putting a lot of money into the younger generation and stuff. So maybe they want more bang for their buck. So I don't know. I mean, they probably paid a pretty penny as well to the Saudis to get this to win that deal. So I don't know, man. It's quite a tricky one. But I mean, to be honest, the undercard is not the greatest. So I wonder how it really does. But I mean, AJ fight Usyk, people will want to watch it and see it. So yeah, let's see what happens.
What's your thoughts on how Joshua has to approach that fight to get the victory over Usyk?
I just feel like he needs to be a little bit more physical, man, especially in the clinches and stuff like that. So, he needs to be nasty, a bit more rugged, use up his forearms, maybe punch the hips to try and slow down the mobility of Usyk. But it's not really his style, but I do hope he does become physical. And not physical where he's using too much muscle and straining too much. He can do it, there's ways to do it, you know what I mean? I hope that the addition of Garcia and the guys, maybe they'll set out a formula and a plan. But it is hard. Usyk is a hell of a campaigner. Remember, we saw Derek Chisora apply that game plan. He's done pretty well. So it actually does work. So we know it works.
What are your thoughts on a couple of boxing rumours? First of all, Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Benn. Interesting fight.
Good fight, man. Good fight, man. Both guys, the legacy of their parents and come from where they come from, what they've done in boxing. Great fight. The only problem I had is the issue with the weight, what everyone's talking about. I'd prefer to see it at 160, where there's no issue. I know Conor Benn might be giving away a little bit too much, but I mean, he's the younger man, more explosive, probably bigger puncher. So I think, everything's in his favour in terms of his run. He's on a better run at the minute. So I think it would, he's in the centre. Win, lose or draw, he's in a good position anyway. And I think there's, he's got the backing of the zone and, so let's see what happens, man. I think it's a great fight. I definitely watch it. I wish both guys all the best.
Talk of Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement to fight Conor McGregor again.
Yeah, I heard, man. I heard them talking about 157 million. Bananas. Why not? Shit, he can come out every 10 years and get that bag. That's crazy. I don't fucking blame him.
A couple of final things from me. Jake Paul next weekend takes on Hashim Rahman Jr. What's been billed as a legitimate boxing fight. Would you give him the credit if he wins next weekend?
I give him credit for being a great businessman and taking the sport more serious now. I can't tell what's actually happening with those fights because there's so much money on the line. I don't know if that guy's fighting for real, or is he been offered extra incentive to go down. We won't know. You know what I mean? We'll only know when he fights, so let's see what happens. But it's a good fight. That guy's a dangerous campaigner. Seemed like a decent fighter. But I credit Jake Paul because he's taking it serious. They built a gym in his house. He trains, lives the life of an athlete, and he's bringing bigger paydays for these boxers who are fighting. So he's making them millionaires. So yeah, good luck to him.
Something that's popped in my head, I forgot to ask you. Anthony Joshua made some interesting comments about the respect that he's not received because he's galvanised the heavyweight division, and when he wins the belts, if he wins them back, he's going to dash them. Doesn't care about him anymore.
Yeah, because of the respect factor. And I understand that as a man, you want to be respected for being a man and respected for, it's equal man to man. And sometimes when that's lacking, you do get frustrated, and I can understand his frustration. You know what I mean? So it's worrying. I don't think he will dash them in a minute. Let's see what happens.
Dean, final thing for me, Black Box Global, you're doing your thing. What's the latest?
So we're going again September the 3rd, Brick Pon Brick, the takeover. Check it out. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe, the Black Box Global. on Instagram and the Dean Whyte Instagram page. Follow us, follow the journey, and just stay tuned, man. We're doing stuff. We're going to be letting out information over the next couple of weeks. We've got 5 weeks left. Anyone interested, DM me, DM the pages, and just follow the journey, man. We're doing great stuff. We're going to have a great card. And yeah, if you want to come out and have a good night, hit us up for tickets, man.
Dean, pleasure speaking to you. Thanks so much for speaking to Box Social. All the best.